Shalom Aleichem Internet. My name is Rabbi Sandra Gazinski, and here is the weekly TorahByte. This week's Torah portion is Parashat Shelach. In it, we tell the story of the spies that Moshe sent to the land of Canaan to scout it out and come back with a report what is the best strategy to fulfilling their purpose in going in and taking the land of Canaan. And the spies come back with a very different report. They come back and talk about the impossible challenges that they see in the land of Canaan and conclude that it will not be possible for us to take the land. The Jewish people cry and moan, and God punishes them and says, this generation will in fact not go into the land of Canaan, rather they will wander the desert for 40 years until they fade away, and the next generation will be in fact the ones to go into the land of Canaan. And the question is an obvious one. These were the 12 best of the Jewish people. And just months ago, they had witnessed God take the world's greatest superpower of the time, undisputed, the Egyptians, and split a sea and render them naught in a moment. And all of a sudden, they're questioning God's ability to conquer the land of Canaan. And the answer is they were not really questioning God's ability. What they did not have faith in was their ability. You see, they understood that there was something very different about the way they had their existence till now with the way it would be once they entered the land of Canaan. Up until this point, they were ensconced in God's cocoon. They were surrounded by clouds of glory. Manna was falling from heaven. Water was coming from the rock, the Be'er of Miriam, and they were spending all day learning Torah from the greatest Torah teacher of all time. And any wars and battles and challenges, these were all being taken care of directly by God. God was doing everything for them. But when they were going to enter the land of Canaan, they were going to have to take the next step in maturation as a people, as a nation. And they were going to have to a certain degree, step out of the cocoon, step out of the nest, and to start making their way in this world. And so the same divine intervention that they were able to rely on, they felt that was not going to be there for them. And if they were going to be on their own, they couldn't get it done. And that was their mistake, because they were not going to be on their own. God was going to be there with them. Every step, which is what Kalev, one of the two spies, who had a different message to the people, was trying to rally the people, says that if God asks us to climb into heavens, we figure it out, because God is not going to leave us on our own. He's going to be holding our hands, and we're going to do this together. And therefore, whatever He asks of us, we should trust that He will help us achieve it, that He sees within us and He's going to give within us that which we need to get the job done. And this is an important message and a lesson to each and every one of us. It is particularly poignant to me, as this week will be my mother's 10th yahrzeit. I remember when she suddenly fell ill. And it was a very short period of time, a few days between when we realized that something was very wrong to the moment that she passed away. I had this strange thought in the hospital, and I was comforted by saying that it's impossible. She can't pass away because there is no plan, because the world's not ready. I'm not ready. This is too sudden. Everything is going to fall apart. So of course it's not going to happen. And then it happened. And very suddenly, we all found ourselves outside of that cocoon. This woman who meant so much to so many people. She was the matriarch of the community. She was the director of the large nursery school in which not only the kids, but the parents constantly saw her advice and her counsel. She was the greatest mother and grandmother. And all of a sudden, the floor drops out from all of us, and we find ourselves outside of her loving cocoon, trying to figure out what is life without her presence, without her enveloping and serene presence. And I thought it couldn't be done. But here we are, and we're making our way. because her presence is still with us. Because the way I try to raise my children is completely based on the way I saw her raise us. And the community continues to benefit from her advice and her counsel that she shared with them, and that people are sharing with each other. The foundations she set, the life she led, the people she taught carry her legacy. So we all carry forward with this. And we carry on, still with her presence, leading, helping us in our lives. It is also this week the yahrzeit of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, the faithful shepherd of our generation. And the Rebbe promised us that this will be the generation that will walk into Mashiach. And so when we could ask ourselves, Rebbe, how did you abandon us? The job, the mission is not done. Mashiach is not yet here, and yet you are no longer here with us, helping us, leading us, guiding us. And the answer is, of course he is. The Rebbe's presence is almost stronger now than it ever was before. The amount of people who have been brought to their potential in their Judaism through the Chabad centers, through the Rebbe's vision and scope, through the Rebbe's teaching, only grows, almost exponentially so. The Rebbe has not abandoned his flock. And this is the way of Judaism. Oftentimes we are thrust into a situation where we feel we stand alone to face the challenges. But if we take a moment and we start to dig a little deeper, we will find that we are not alone. That the resources are there, that God provides us exactly what we need to accomplish that which he asks us to accomplish, to succeed in the goals that are set before us, to march down the path that God rolls out in front of us. We just need to have faith in him, faith in ourselves, and faith in the resources that God provides, and see the tremendous success that is possible if we just take that faith and march confidently to our rendezvous with destiny, until we will once again be reunited with all those who we miss, to all the presences in our life that we would like to be in front of our eyes. May it come speedily with the coming of Mashiach right now. Shabbat Shalom.